name is Alex Opsahl, and I play cornetto and recorder.
My name is Ian Pritchard. I play keyboards, and we're both members of a group based here in Los Angeles called Tesserae, where we specialize in music of the late Renaissance and early Baroque with some forays into other music. And we're really excited to present this concert for you.
So this is a cornetto, and I'm playing two instruments today. The recorder, boring old recorder, everybody's seen the recorder before, but this is the cornetto is a hybrid woodwind instrument and brass instrument. So the mouthpiece comes off. It's an incredibly teeny tiny trumpet-like mouthpiece. You stick it in here. On the inside, you've got wood. The way they make it is that they have two parts that they glue together, and then they wind it in parchment or leather. In this case, it's leather. You find a lot of these instruments in, for example, Venice. I think this is a copy of a Venetian instrument. Even the little, you can't really see it very well, but it has very tiny decorations that are copies of the Venetian instrument. So it's a bit funny because today it's actually our 13th wedding anniversary. And one of the reasons why I am currently playing cornetto is that when we met at the Royal Academy of Music in London, I was a recorder player, and I overheard a guy saying his favorite instrument was cornetto. And I decided maybe to get his attention, I should learn cornetto. So I was actually a recorder major with a minor in bassoon, and I marched into the head of my department and I said, I need to swap instruments to cornetto. Like, cornetto really resonates with me. I had no idea what cornetto was really. And so I started learning cornetto, and it worked. I got it.
I've been accompanying Alex for more than 13 years.
Yeah.
So we kind of just, as musicians, read each other incredibly well, and so in that sense, it's really easy. But
very comfortable telling each other off as well.
Well, I'm less comfortable.
My first encounter with early Baroque music was probably the sonatas of Castello, I think. I was a recorder player. I was only playing recorder when I was around about 15, 16 years old, and my teacher introduced me to these sonatas by Castello, which are specifically written for a soprano instrument. So it could be a violin, it could be a recorder, it could be cornetto. And so I remember playing those on my recorder, and I just thought they were wild. I loved them so much.
Since I began playing harpsichord, sort of early music instruments fairly early on. I was about 13 or so, and I think right around that time I encountered my first piece by Frescobaldi. So that would be my first kind of foray into the early Baroque. Also, being a harpsichordist, I'm very harmonically inclined in my thinking. There's something that the simplicity yet the theatricality, the kind of bold use of dissonances in 17th century, early 17th century music in particular, that I find really draws me in.
So this program is early Italian, which is one of my favorite repertoires to perform. During lockdown, we were talking about, we should probably record some of our original pieces that we played when we first met each other. And it worked out very well to be asked to put something together by Da Camera. That was a lot of fun for us. So I chose a Castello, which you've been badgering me to do anyway.
Yeah.
And you had your Frescobaldi that you'd always wanted to record.
Yes.
And then you said, let's do Leonardo.
From an outsider's perspective, everything we play is incredibly obscure. But inside our world, there are certain pieces like the Frescobaldi and the Castello, which are actually like top 10 hits. Like, we have so many friends and colleagues, like violinists, recorder players, cornetto players, who've played Castello, the second Castello solo sonata.
Yeah.
So for us, it's like kind of our equivalent doing some Beethoven, Waldstein or something.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of weird we have this dual thing. Same goes for the Frescobaldi.
I do love the ending of the Castello, because Castello always throws in these wild endings, and they're a hoot to play.
Yeah.
And they're kind of fun for the audience. So.
Yeah, Castello's, I think,
it's always very crunchy at the end.
Very amazingly dramatic, actually.
Yeah.
It seems to be the most dramatic example, somehow, of early 17th century Italian Baroque music. So. The Frescobaldi Cento Partite is essentially 100 variations on the Passacaglia, but it's more than 100 variations. It's a real monumental piece of the early 17th century keyboard repertoire. It's a piece that one could make the argument is almost sort of a summation of.
You didn't do 100 variations.
It is over 100 variations. Yeah, if you count.
Did
more.
it? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Does go on.
Each variation is very short though. Each variation is like a second, and then like like a. That's each variation.
Oh my gosh. The piece that I'm doing on recorder is by Isabella Leonarda, who was one of a very rare example of a female composer from the early Baroque period. She worked in a. She lived in a. She lived in a convent.
Where did that live? This guy's one dead.
Work those situations. And she taught music at the convent, and she was incredibly prolific as a composer. So mainly she composed church music for larger ensembles, but she did publish a set of trio sonatas, and at the end of the trio sonatas there's one sonata duodecima for violin solo, which is the one that I'm doing on recorder.